What if the stars could whisper the future to us, just as they did to the ancient Babylonians thousands of years ago? Picture this, a Babylonian king standing atop a ziggurat, gazing at the night sky. His astrologer whispers a chilling prediction, a celestial omen foretelling the fall of a rival kingdom. Weeks later, the prophecy comes true, and the king's power grows. This wasn't magic, it was Babylonian astrology, one of the most advanced systems of its time, and it shaped the course of history. Welcome to a journey through the mysteries of Babylonian astrology, where the stars weren't just lights in the sky, they were messages from the gods. For centuries, the Babylonians studied the heavens, mapping the movements of planets, stars, and constellations. They believed these celestial patterns held the key to predicting everything from wars and famines to personal destinies. And here's the fascinating part, many of their predictions came true. In this video, we're diving deep into 30 Babylonian astrological secrets that not only predicted the future but also laid the foundation for modern astrology. From the origins of the zodiac to the mysterious Venus tablet, these ancient insights will leave you questioning how much we've truly evolved in understanding the cosmos. So, if you've ever wondered how the stars might influence your life, or if you're just curious about the secrets of one of history's most enigmatic civilizations, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll uncover how the Babylonians turned the night sky into a map of destiny, and you might just see the stars in a whole new light. Let's begin. Now, as we step into the first of these ancient secrets, let's uncover the origins of the zodiac itself. The Babylonians, with their keen eyes fixed on the heavens, were the first to divide the sky into 12 distinct sections. These sections, each tied to specific celestial patterns, became the foundation of what we now know as the zodiac. Imagine the Babylonian astrologers meticulously observing the night sky over centuries. They noticed that the sun, moon, and planets seemed to move through a fixed path, which they called the ecliptic. To make sense of this cosmic dance, they divided this path into 12 equal parts, each associated with a constellation. These constellations weren't just random groupings of stars. They were seen as divine symbols, each carrying its own unique meaning and influence. This system wasn't just about mapping the stars, it was a way to connect the movements of the heavens to life on Earth. The Babylonians believed that the position of the sun, moon, and planets within these 12 sections could reveal insights about everything from the fate of kings to the success of crops. It was a revolutionary idea, one that would shape the way humans understood the cosmos for millennia. What's truly remarkable is how this ancient system laid the groundwork for modern astrology. The 12 signs of the zodiac we recognize today, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and so on, are directly descended from the Babylonian constellations. Even the concept of horoscopes, which link celestial events to individual destinies, can be traced back to these early astrologers. So, the next time you read your horoscope or hear someone talk about their zodiac sign, remember that you're tapping into a tradition that began over 2,000 years ago under the watchful eyes of Babylonian stargazers. Their legacy lives on, not just in the stars, but in the way we continue to seek meaning in the cosmos. With this foundation in place, let's move forward to explore another fascinating secret, the ancient text known as the Enuma Anu Enlil, and how it became a cornerstone of Babylonian astrological predictions. Now, as we delve deeper into the mysteries of Babylonian astrology, let's turn our attention to one of the most remarkable texts of the ancient world, the Enuma Anu Enlil. This collection of celestial omens and predictions is not just a historical artifact, it's a window into how the Babylonians saw the universe and their place within it. The Enuma Anu Enlil, whose name translates to "when the gods Anu and Enlil," was a series of tablets that recorded the movements of celestial bodies and their interpretations. These tablets were more than just star charts, they were a guidebook for understanding the will of the gods. Babylonian priests, who were also skilled astrologers, used this text to decode the messages hidden in the skies. Imagine the scene, a priest standing atop a ziggurat scanning the heavens for signs. A sudden eclipse, an unusual alignment of planets, or the appearance of a comet. All of these were seen as divine communications. The Enuma Anu Enlil provided the key to deciphering these messages. For example, if Mars appeared unusually bright, it might signal impending conflict. If Venus was obscured, it could foretell a period of drought or famine. What makes this text so significant is its role as one of the earliest systematic records of astrological knowledge. The Babylonians didn't just observe the stars, they meticulously documented their findings, creating a body of knowledge that would influence civilizations for centuries. The Enuma Anu Enlil wasn't just about predicting the future, it was about understanding the rhythms of the cosmos and aligning human actions with divine will. This text also reveals how deeply intertwined astrology was with daily life in Babylon. Kings consulted astrologers before making major decisions, from launching military campaigns to planning agricultural activities. The Enuma Anu Enlil was their roadmap, offering guidance on everything from the best time to plant crops to the likelihood of political upheaval. As we reflect on this ancient text, it's clear that the Enuma Anu Enlil was more than just a collection of omens. It was a testament to the Babylonians' profound connection to the cosmos. Their belief that the heavens held the key to understanding the future shaped not only their culture but also the development of astrology as we know it today. With this understanding of the Enuma Anu Enlil, let's now explore another fascinating aspect of Babylonian astrology, their deep fascination with the moon and its powerful influence on their world. Now, as we shift our gaze to the night sky, let's uncover the Babylonian fascination with the moon, a celestial body that held immense power and significance in their world. For the Babylonians, the moon wasn't just a glowing orb in the sky. It was a divine messenger, a timekeeper, and a predictor of fate. Its phases and movements were meticulously observed, as they believed the moon's behavior held clues about the future. The Babylonians were particularly captivated by lunar eclipses, which they saw as dramatic omens from the gods. When the moon darkened, it was interpreted as a warning, a sign of impending disaster, political turmoil, or even the fall of a king. Priests would carefully record these events, using their knowledge to advise rulers on how to respond. For instance, if an eclipse occurred during a critical moment, such as the planning of a military campaign, it might lead to the postponement or cancellation of the entire operation. But it wasn't just eclipses that held their attention. The regular cycles of the moon played a central role in Babylonian life. They developed one of the earliest lunar calendars, dividing the year into months based on the moon's phases. This calendar wasn't just a tool for tracking time. It was a guide for agriculture, religious rituals, and even legal matters. Farmers relied on the moon's cycles to determine the best times for planting and harvesting, while priests used it to schedule sacred ceremonies, ensuring they aligned with the divine will. The moon's influence extended to warfare as well. Babylonian kings often consulted astrologers to interpret lunar omens before engaging in battle. A full moon might be seen as a favorable sign, boosting morale and signaling divine support, while a crescent moon could suggest caution or the need for strategic delay. These interpretations weren't taken lightly. They shaped the decisions of entire armies and the fate of nations. What's truly remarkable is how the Babylonians' understanding of the moon went beyond mere superstition. Their detailed observations and recordings laid the groundwork for later astronomical studies. They recognized patterns in lunar cycles, enabling them to predict eclipses with surprising accuracy, a feat that demonstrated their advanced knowledge of celestial mechanics. As we reflect on the moon's role in Babylonian astrology, it's clear that this celestial body was far more than a passive observer in the night sky. It was a dynamic force shaping the rhythms of daily life and the decisions of kings. The Babylonians' reverence for the moon reminds us of their deep connection to the cosmos, a connection that continues to inspire awe and curiosity to this day. With this understanding of the moon's profound influence, let's now turn our attention to another extraordinary artifact of Babylonian astrology, the Venus tablet of Ammisajuka, which reveals how the movements of Venus were used to predict the future. Now, as we step into the realm of Venus, let's uncover one of the most fascinating artifacts of Babylonian astrology, the Venus tablet of Ammisajuka. This ancient tablet, dating back to the 17th century before the Common Era, is one of the oldest surviving astronomical records in history. It's a testament to the Babylonians' meticulous observation of the heavens and their belief that the movements of celestial bodies held the key to understanding the future. The Venus tablet is named after King Ammisajuka, a ruler of the first Babylonian dynasty, and it contains detailed records of the planet Venus's appearances and disappearances over a span of 21 years. For the Babylonians, Venus wasn't just a bright star in the sky, it was the star of Ishtar, a powerful deity associated with love, war, and fertility. Its movements were seen as divine messages, and astrologers carefully studied its patterns to predict significant events on Earth. When Venus appeared in the morning sky, it was often interpreted as a sign of prosperity and good fortune. However, its disappearance or irregular movements were viewed as ominous warnings. Babylonian astrologers believed that these celestial shifts could foretell droughts, famines, or even political upheavals. For example, if Venus remained hidden for an unusually long period, it might be seen as a sign of impending disaster, prompting rulers to take precautionary measures. The tablet also reveals how the Babylonians used Venus's cycles to guide their agricultural practices. Farmers would consult astrologers to determine the best times for planting and harvesting, ensuring their crops aligned with the planet's favorable phases. Similarly, political leaders relied on Venus's movements to make critical decisions, such as when to wage war or negotiate peace treaties. What makes the Venus tablet truly remarkable is its precision. The Babylonians recorded Venus's movements with incredible accuracy, noting its rising and setting times, its brightness, and even its position relative to other stars. These observations weren't just for astrological purposes, they laid the foundation for later astronomical studies, influencing civilizations like the Greeks and Romans. As we reflect on the Venus tablet, it's clear that the Babylonians saw the cosmos as a living, interconnected system. Venus wasn't just a distant planet, it was a divine force that shaped their world. Their ability to interpret its movements with such depth and sophistication reminds us of their profound connection to the stars, a connection that continues to inspire awe and curiosity to this day. With this understanding of Venus's role in Babylonian astrology, let's now explore another intriguing aspect of their celestial wisdom, the concept of planetary omens and how they believed the positions of planets like Jupiter and Saturn could predict the fate of kings and empires. Now, shifting our gaze to the broader celestial stage, let's explore the Babylonian concept of planetary omens. For the Babylonians, the planets weren't just wandering stars, they were divine messengers, each carrying specific meanings and warnings from the gods. Among these celestial bodies, Jupiter and Saturn held particular significance, their movements believed to foretell the rise and fall of kings, the fate of empires, and even the stability of entire civilizations. Jupiter, known as Marduk in Babylonian culture, was seen as the king of the gods and a symbol of authority and justice. Its position in the sky was carefully monitored, as its movements were thought to reflect the favor or displeasure of the gods toward earthly rulers. For instance, if Jupiter appeared bright and steady, it was interpreted as a sign of divine approval, suggesting prosperity and stability for the ruling king. On the other hand, if Jupiter's path seemed erratic or dim, it was viewed as a warning of potential turmoil or the downfall of a leader. Saturn, associated with the god Ninurta, was equally significant but carried a more ominous tone. Often linked to themes of judgment and retribution, Saturn's movements were believed to signal periods of hardship or transformation. When Saturn appeared in certain constellations or aligned with other planets, Babylonian astrologers interpreted these events as harbingers of war, famine, or even the collapse of empires. For example, if Saturn was observed near Mars, it was seen as a dire omen, suggesting conflict or upheaval on a grand scale. The Babylonians didn't just observe these planets in isolation, they studied their relationships with one another and with the fixed stars. Conjunctions where two planets appeared close together in the sky were especially significant. A conjunction between Jupiter and Venus, for instance, might be seen as a sign of peace and prosperity, while a conjunction between Saturn and Mars could signal impending disaster. These interpretations weren't arbitrary. They were based on centuries of meticulous observation and recorded in texts like the Enuma Anu Enlil, which served as a guide for astrologers. What's fascinating is how deeply these planetary omens influenced Babylonian society. Kings relied on astrologers to interpret celestial signs before making major decisions, such as declaring war, signing treaties, or even choosing successors. The fate of entire nations could hinge on the perceived alignment of the stars. This belief in the interconnectedness of the heavens and the earth underscores the Babylonians' view of the cosmos as a living, breathing entity where every movement carried meaning. As we reflect on the Babylonian understanding of planetary omens, it's clear that their astrological system was far more than superstition. It was a sophisticated attempt to make sense of the world through the lens of the divine. Their interpretations of Jupiter and Saturn's movements reveal a profound connection between the celestial and the terrestrial, a connection that shaped their worldview and continues to captivate us today. With this understanding of planetary omens, let's now turn our attention to another cornerstone of Babylonian astrology, their innovative lunar calendar and how it shaped their daily lives and rituals. Now, as we step into the realm of timekeeping, let's uncover the brilliance of the Babylonian calendar. Unlike the solar calendars we use today, the Babylonians crafted a lunar calendar, meticulously tracking the phases of the moon to structure their days, months, and years. This system wasn't just a tool for marking time. It was a way to harmonize their lives with the rhythms of the cosmos. The Babylonian calendar divided the year into 12 lunar months, each beginning with the first sighting of the crescent moon. Because the lunar cycle lasts about 29.5 days, their months alternated between 29 and 30 days to stay in sync with the moon's phases. To account for the discrepancy between the lunar year and the solar year, the Babylonians introduced an ingenious solution. They periodically added an extra month, known as an intercalary month, to realign their calendar with the seasons. This adjustment ensured that agricultural activities, religious festivals, and other important events remained tied to the natural world. What's remarkable is the precision of their system. Babylonian astronomers observed the moon's movements with extraordinary accuracy, using their knowledge to predict lunar eclipses and other celestial events. Their calendar wasn't just a practical tool, it was a reflection of their deep connection to the heavens. Every month, every day was imbued with meaning, as the Babylonians believed that celestial events directly influenced earthly affairs. The influence of the Babylonian calendar extended far beyond their own civilization. It became a foundation for later cultures, including the Greeks and the Jews, who adapted its principles into their own timekeeping systems. Even today, traces of the Babylonian lunar calendar can be seen in the Islamic calendar, which also relies on the moon's phases to determine its months. By aligning their lives with the moon, the Babylonians created a calendar that was both practical and profound. It allowed them to navigate the complexities of time while maintaining a sacred connection to the cosmos. As we explore their calendar, we gain insight into how they viewed time not as a linear progression, but as a cyclical dance between the heavens and the earth. With this understanding of their lunar calendar, let's now turn our attention to another celestial symbol that held immense significance in Babylonian astrology, the Star of Ishtar, and its dual role as a harbinger of both love and war. Now, as we shift our gaze to the night sky, let's uncover the mysteries of the Star of Ishtar, the Babylonian name for the planet Venus. To the Babylonians, Venus wasn't just a bright point of light, it was a celestial messenger embodying the dual forces of love and war. This duality made Venus one of the most powerful and enigmatic symbols in their astrological system. The Babylonians observed Venus with great care, tracking its movements across the sky. They noticed that Venus appeared as both the morning star, heralding the dawn, and the evening star, marking the twilight. These two phases were seen as reflections of its dual nature. As the morning star, Venus was associated with Ishtar, the goddess of love, fertility, and beauty. Its appearance in the early hours was believed to bring blessings of harmony, prosperity, and new beginnings. But as the evening star, Venus took on a more ominous role. It became linked to Ishtar's warrior aspect, symbolizing conflict, upheaval, and transformation. Babylonian astrologers interpreted its evening appearance as a warning of potential strife or a call to prepare for challenges ahead. This duality made Venus a complex and multifaceted omen, capable of signaling both joy and turmoil depending on its position in the sky. The Babylonians used Venus's movements to make predictions about the future. For example, if Venus appeared brightly in the morning sky, it was seen as a favorable sign for marriages, alliances, and diplomatic endeavors. Conversely, its prominence in the evening sky might prompt kings to delay military campaigns or prepare for unrest. The planet's cycles were meticulously recorded in astrological texts, allowing priests to interpret its messages with precision. What's fascinating is how deeply Venus was woven into Babylonian culture. Temples dedicated to Ishtar often featured symbols of Venus, and rituals were timed to coincide with its phases. The planet's influence extended beyond astrology into art, literature, and even politics, shaping the way the Babylonians understood their world. The legacy of the Star of Ishtar endures to this day. Its dual symbolism of love and war continues to inspire modern interpretations of Venus in astrology and mythology. By exploring the Babylonian perspective, we gain a deeper appreciation for how they saw the cosmos as a mirror of human experience, where celestial events held profound meaning for life on Earth. With this understanding of Venus's dual role, let's now turn to another fascinating concept in Babylonian astrology: the idea of the Great Year, a cyclical period tied to the precession of the equinoxes and how it shaped their understanding of time and destiny. Now, as we delve deeper into the celestial wisdom of the Babylonians, let's explore one of their most profound astrological concepts, the Great Year. This idea, rooted in the slow, rhythmic dance of the heavens, reveals how the Babylonians saw time not as a straight line but as a grand, repeating cycle that shaped the destiny of civilizations. The Great Year was tied to a phenomenon known as the precession of the equinoxes, a gradual shift in the orientation of Earth's axis that causes the position of the stars to change over thousands of years. The Babylonians observed this slow movement and calculated that it took approximately 25,920 years for the cycle to complete. They saw this as a cosmic clock marking the rise and fall of empires, the birth of new eras, and the eventual return of old patterns. For the Babylonians, the Great Year was more than just an astronomical observation. It was a framework for understanding history and human destiny. They believed that each phase of this cycle brought with it distinct energies and influences, shaping the character of civilizations and the challenges they faced. When the cycle reached certain key points, it was thought to herald major shifts in power, culture, and even the natural world. This cyclical view of time was deeply tied to their belief in fate and the idea that the cosmos held a divine plan. Babylonian astrologers used the great year to predict long-term trends, such as the rise of powerful leaders, the fall of kingdoms, or the onset of golden ages. They saw these events as part of a larger celestial rhythm, where the stars and planets guided the course of human history. What's remarkable is how this ancient concept still resonates today. The idea of cyclical time has influenced later cultures from the Greeks to the Mayans, and continues to inspire modern interpretations of history and astrology. By studying the Great Year, we gain insight into how the Babylonians viewed their place in the universe not as isolated beings, but as part of a vast, interconnected cosmic order. As we reflect on the Great Year, it's clear that the Babylonians saw the cosmos as a living, breathing entity with its own rhythms and patterns. Their understanding of this grand cycle reminds us that even in our modern world, the stars above still hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. With this in mind, let's now turn to another fascinating aspect of Babylonian astrology: how their celestial knowledge was applied in the heat of battle, shaping the strategies of kings and the outcomes of wars. Now, shifting our gaze to the battlefield, we uncover how Babylonian kings turned to the stars for guidance in times of war. Astrology wasn't just a tool for understanding the cosmos, it was a weapon, a strategic advisor that could tip the scales of victory or defeat. Babylonian rulers believed that the movements of the planets and stars held the key to predicting the outcomes of battles, and they relied heavily on their astrologer-priests to interpret these celestial signs. Before any major military campaign, kings would consult their astrologers to determine the most auspicious time to strike. These astrologers would carefully study the positions of the planets, particularly Mars, the god of war, and Jupiter, the bringer of fortune. If Mars was in a favorable position, it was seen as a sign of strength and aggression, suggesting that the time was right for battle. Conversely, if Mars was in a weakened or unfavorable position, it might signal caution or even delay. The astrologers also paid close attention to lunar eclipses, which were considered powerful omens. A lunar eclipse occurring before a battle could be interpreted as a warning from the gods, signaling potential disaster. In such cases, kings might postpone their plans or seek divine favor through rituals and offerings. On the other hand, a solar eclipse might be seen as a sign of divine intervention, emboldening the army to move forward with confidence. But it wasn't just about timing. Babylonian astrologers also used celestial patterns to predict the behavior of their enemies. For example, if a comet appeared in the night sky, it was often seen as a harbinger of chaos and upheaval, suggesting that the opposing forces might be weakened or disorganized. This kind of insight allowed Babylonian kings to adjust their strategies, whether by launching a surprise attack or fortifying their defenses. The influence of astrology on warfare extended beyond the battlefield. Kings used astrological predictions to inspire their troops, framing their campaigns as divinely ordained missions. By aligning their actions with the will of the gods, they could rally their soldiers and boost morale, turning the tide of war in their favor. What's fascinating is how these ancient practices reveal the deep connection between the Babylonians and the cosmos. For them, the stars weren't just distant lights, they were active participants in human affairs, shaping the fate of nations and the lives of individuals. By studying the heavens, they sought not only to predict the future but to control it, using their celestial knowledge to outmaneuver their enemies and secure their place in history. As we reflect on the role of astrology in Babylonian warfare, it's clear that their approach was both practical and profound. They saw the cosmos as a guide, a source of wisdom that could illuminate the path to victory. And while their methods may seem mystical to us today, their legacy reminds us that even in the chaos of war, the stars above held a steady hand. With this in mind, let's now explore another intriguing aspect of Babylonian astrology: the pivotal role of the astrologer-priests, who served as the bridge between the heavens and the earthly realm. Now, stepping into the sacred halls of Babylonian temples, we uncover the pivotal role of the astrologer-priests, the revered figures who bridged the gap between the heavens and humanity. These individuals were not just scholars of the stars, they were spiritual guides, advisors to kings, and interpreters of divine will. Their expertise in astrology made them indispensable to Babylonian society, shaping decisions that ranged from warfare to agriculture and even personal destinies. The training of an astrologer-priest was rigorous and deeply rooted in tradition. From a young age, candidates were selected based on their intellectual aptitude and spiritual devotion. They underwent years of education, studying ancient texts like the Enuma Anu Enlil, which contained centuries of celestial observations and interpretations. They learned to read the night sky like a map, identifying constellations, tracking planetary movements, and deciphering the omens hidden within celestial events. But their training went beyond mere observation. Astrologer-priests were also skilled in mathematics and astronomy, using complex calculations to predict eclipses, planetary alignments, and other significant events. They developed tools like astrolabes and star charts to aid their work, creating some of the earliest known systems for mapping the heavens. This combination of spiritual insight and scientific precision made them uniquely qualified to interpret the messages of the gods. In their role as intermediaries, astrologer-priests performed rituals and ceremonies to seek divine favor or avert disaster. They would offer sacrifices, chant prayers, and conduct elaborate rites during key celestial events, such as eclipses or the appearance of comets. These rituals were believed to strengthen the connection between the gods and the people, ensuring that the community remained in harmony with the cosmos. Their influence extended far beyond the temple walls. Kings and rulers relied on their counsel for matters of state, from declaring war to planning harvests. Farmers sought their guidance on the best times to plant and harvest crops, while individuals turned to them for personal horoscopes and predictions about their futures. In this way, the astrologer-priests were not just religious figures, they were central to the daily lives of the Babylonian people. What's remarkable is how these astrologer-priests balanced their spiritual duties with their scientific pursuits. They saw no conflict between the two, believing that the study of the stars was a sacred act that brought them closer to the divine. Their work laid the foundation for later astrological traditions, influencing cultures from ancient Greece to medieval Europe. As we reflect on the legacy of the Babylonian astrologer-priests, we see a profound connection between the heavens and human life. They remind us that the stars have always been more than distant lights. They are a source of wisdom, guidance, and inspiration. And while their methods may seem ancient to us, their belief in the power of the cosmos to shape our lives continues to resonate today. With this understanding, let's now turn our attention to another fascinating aspect of Babylonian astrology, its surprising connection to medicine, where celestial events were believed to influence health and well-being. Now, shifting our gaze from the temples to the healing arts, we uncover a lesser-known yet fascinating aspect of Babylonian astrology, its profound connection to medicine. For the Babylonians, the stars were not just predictors of political fortunes or agricultural cycles. They were also seen as powerful influences on human health and well-being. This belief in the celestial control of the body led to a unique fusion of astrology and medicine, where the movements of the planets and stars were thought to dictate both the causes and cures of illnesses. Babylonian astrologer-priests, with their deep understanding of celestial patterns, played a dual role as both spiritual guides and medical practitioners. They believed that the alignment of planets, the phases of the moon, and even the appearance of comets could directly impact a person's physical and mental health. For example, a lunar eclipse might be interpreted as a sign of impending illness, while the position of Mars could indicate a heightened risk of fever or inflammation. These celestial omens were carefully recorded and cross-referenced with symptoms observed in patients, creating a system of astrological diagnosis that was both intricate and deeply symbolic. One of the most striking examples of this practice was the use of horoscopes in medicine. Babylonian astrologers would cast a patient's birth chart to determine their inherent vulnerabilities and strengths. They believed that the positions of the planets at the time of birth influenced not only personality traits but also susceptibility to specific diseases. For instance, someone born under the influence of Saturn might be prone to melancholy or chronic ailments, while a person born under Jupiter's influence could have a stronger constitution. This personalized approach to health was centuries ahead of its time, blending astrology with early forms of medical profiling. Treatment plans were also heavily influenced by celestial events. Babylonian healers timed their interventions based on the movements of the stars, believing that certain planetary alignments could enhance the effectiveness of remedies. For example, they might prescribe herbal treatments during a favorable moon phase or perform rituals to counteract the negative effects of an unfavorable planetary transit. Even the preparation of medicines was tied to astrological timing, with ingredients harvested and mixed under specific celestial conditions to maximize their potency. This connection between astrology and medicine extended beyond individual care. Babylonian astrologers also used their knowledge to predict and manage public health crises. They believed that celestial events like eclipses or the appearance of certain stars could herald epidemics or widespread illnesses. By interpreting these signs, they advised rulers on measures to protect the population, such as quarantines or communal rituals to appease the gods. What's truly remarkable is how this ancient system reflects a holistic understanding of health, one that integrates the physical, spiritual, and cosmic realms. While modern medicine has moved away from astrological influences, the Babylonian approach reminds us of the enduring human desire to find patterns and meaning in the world around us. Their belief in the interconnectedness of the heavens and the body laid the groundwork for later medical traditions, influencing practices in ancient Greece, Persia, and beyond. As we explore this fascinating intersection of astrology and medicine, we gain a deeper appreciation for the ingenuity of the Babylonian astrologer-priests. Their ability to weave together science, spirituality, and healing offers a timeless lesson in the power of observation and the quest for understanding. And with this insight, we now turn to another intriguing secret, the influence of Babylonian astrology on ancient Greece, where these ideas would take on new life and shape the course of Western thought. Now, as we journey westward, we uncover how the celestial wisdom of Babylon found fertile ground in ancient Greece, where it blossomed into new forms of thought and practice. The influence of Babylonian astrology on Greece marks a pivotal moment in the history of astronomy and philosophy, bridging the gap between the ancient Near East and the Western world. Greek scholars, known for their curiosity and intellectual rigor, eagerly absorbed the astrological knowledge brought by Babylonian traders, travelers, and even captured texts. Among these scholars, figures like Ptolemy stand out as key figures who not only adopted Babylonian ideas but also refined and expanded them. Ptolemy, in his seminal work, Tetrabiblos, synthesized Babylonian astrological principles with Greek philosophy, creating a system that would dominate Western astrology for centuries. One of the most significant contributions of Babylonian astrology to Greece was the concept of the zodiac. The Greeks adopted the 12-fold division of the sky, but they infused it with their own mythological narratives, linking each zodiac sign to their pantheon of gods and heroes. For example, Aries became associated with the golden ram of Greek mythology, while Leo was tied to the Nemean lion slain by Hercules. This blending of Babylonian precision with Greek storytelling gave the zodiac a richer cultural resonance. Greek astronomers also built upon Babylonian methods of celestial observation. The Babylonians were masters of tracking planetary movements and predicting eclipses, and Greek scholars like Hipparchus and later Ptolemy refined these techniques. Hipparchus, often called the father of trigonometry, used Babylonian data to develop more accurate models of the solar system. Ptolemy, in turn, created the geocentric model that placed Earth at the center of the universe, a theory that would dominate Western thought until the Renaissance. But the influence of Babylonian astrology went beyond astronomy. Greek philosophers like Plato and Aristotle incorporated astrological ideas into their theories about the cosmos and human nature. Plato, in his dialogue Timaeus, described the universe as a living being governed by celestial harmony, a concept deeply rooted in Babylonian thought. Aristotle, meanwhile, saw the stars as eternal and unchanging, influencing the mutable world below, a view that echoed Babylonian beliefs about the divine nature of the heavens. The Greeks also adopted Babylonian practices of using astrology for practical purposes, such as predicting weather patterns, agricultural cycles, and even political events. However, they added their own philosophical twist, emphasizing the role of human reason in interpreting celestial signs. This balance between divine influence and human agency became a hallmark of Greek astrology. Perhaps the most enduring legacy of Babylonian astrology in Greece was its integration into the broader framework of Hellenistic culture. As Greek influence spread across the Mediterranean and beyond, so too did the astrological knowledge they had inherited and refined. This fusion of Babylonian and Greek ideas laid the foundation for the astrological traditions of the Roman Empire, the Islamic Golden Age, and eventually medieval Europe. As we reflect on this cross-cultural exchange, we see how the stars served as a universal language, connecting distant civilizations through shared knowledge and curiosity. The Greeks did not merely copy Babylonian astrology, they transformed it, adding layers of meaning and sophistication that continue to shape our understanding of the cosmos. And with this insight, we prepare to explore another fascinating secret: the Babylonians' remarkable ability to predict eclipses, a skill that further cemented their reputation as masters of the heavens. Now, as we turn our gaze to the heavens, we uncover one of the most awe-inspiring achievements of Babylonian astrology: their ability to predict eclipses with remarkable precision. For the Babylonians, eclipses were not just celestial events, they were powerful omens, messages from the gods that carried profound implications for kings, empires, and the fate of entire nations. The Babylonians were among the first to recognize patterns in the movements of the moon and the sun, allowing them to forecast both lunar and solar eclipses. Their methods were rooted in meticulous observation and record-keeping. Over centuries, they compiled detailed records of celestial events, noting the timing and frequency of eclipses. This vast archive of data enabled them to identify recurring cycles, such as the Saros cycle, which spans approximately 18 years and 11 days. By understanding this cycle, Babylonian astrologers could predict when an eclipse was likely to occur, even if they didn't fully grasp the astronomical mechanics behind it. But predicting an eclipse was only part of the story. For the Babylonians, the true significance of an eclipse lay in its interpretation. They believed that eclipses were divine warnings, signaling impending disaster or upheaval. A lunar eclipse, for example, was often seen as a bad omen for the king or the ruling power. To avert catastrophe, the king might temporarily step down from his throne, allowing a substitute to take his place and absorb the divine wrath. This symbolic act was meant to protect the kingdom and restore cosmic balance. Solar eclipses, on the other hand, were even more ominous. The sudden darkening of the sun was interpreted as a direct challenge to the king's authority or a sign of divine displeasure. In some cases, these predictions influenced major political decisions, such as postponing military campaigns or altering the course of governance. The Babylonians' ability to foresee such events gave their astrologers immense power and influence, as their predictions could shape the fate of entire civilizations. What's truly remarkable is how the Babylonians' eclipse predictions were not just based on superstition, but on a deep understanding of celestial patterns. Their work laid the groundwork for later astronomers, including the Greeks, who built upon Babylonian methods to refine their own predictive models. Even today, the legacy of Babylonian eclipse predictions endures, reminding us of their extraordinary contributions to the science of astronomy. As we marvel at their achievements, we're reminded of the profound connection between the heavens and human destiny that the Babylonians so deeply understood. Their ability to predict eclipses was not just a scientific feat, it was a testament to their belief in the interconnectedness of the cosmos and earthly life. And with this insight, we prepare to explore another celestial mystery, the Babylonians' interpretation of comets as harbingers of change and upheaval. Now, as we shift our focus from the shadows of eclipses to the fiery trails of comets, we uncover another layer of Babylonian astrological wisdom. Comets, with their sudden and unpredictable appearances, were seen by the Babylonians as celestial messengers, carrying urgent warnings or heralding dramatic changes. Unlike the predictable cycles of the moon and sun, comets were wildcards in the night sky, and their presence was often met with both awe and dread. For the Babylonians, a comet streaking across the heavens was not just a beautiful spectacle, it was a powerful omen. They believed that comets were direct signs from the gods, signaling impending disaster, upheaval, or even the fall of a ruler. The unpredictability of comets made them particularly significant, as their appearance could not be anticipated like an eclipse. This unpredictability only heightened their perceived importance, as they were seen as urgent messages demanding immediate attention. One of the most famous examples of a comet's impact on Babylonian history is linked to the reign of King Nabonidus, the last king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Historical records suggest that a comet appeared in the sky during his rule, and Babylonian astrologers interpreted it as a sign of divine displeasure. This ominous interpretation may have contributed to the growing unrest and instability that ultimately led to the empire's downfall at the hands of the Persians. The comet, in this case, was seen as a harbinger of the end of an era. Another striking example comes from the reign of King Hammurabi, one of Babylon's most famous rulers. A comet sighting during his time was interpreted as a warning of impending conflict or natural disaster. In response, Hammurabi reportedly consulted his astrologers and took measures to appease the gods, including performing rituals and making offerings. This demonstrates how deeply Babylonian rulers relied on astrological interpretations to guide their decisions, even in matters of state. But comets weren't always seen as purely negative omens. In some cases, they were interpreted as signs of transformation or renewal. A comet's appearance could signal the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, urging society to adapt to new circumstances. This dual interpretation of both destruction and rebirth reflects the Babylonians' nuanced understanding of celestial events and their impact on human affairs. What's fascinating is how the Babylonians' interpretations of comets influenced later civilizations. The Greeks, for instance, adopted many Babylonian astrological ideas, including the belief that comets were omens of change. Even today, comets continue to captivate our imagination, though we now understand them as icy remnants from the early solar system rather than divine messengers. Yet, the legacy of Babylonian comet interpretations reminds us of the enduring human desire to find meaning in the stars. As we reflect on the Babylonians' view of comets, we're reminded of their profound connection to the cosmos. For them, every celestial event, whether an eclipse, a comet, or the movement of a planet, was a piece of a larger puzzle, a divine message waiting to be deciphered. And with this understanding, we prepare to delve into another fascinating aspect of Babylonian astrology, their meticulous star catalogues, which laid the foundation for mapping the night sky. Now, as we turn our gaze from the fiery trails of comets to the steady glow of the stars, we uncover another remarkable achievement of Babylonian astrology, their star catalogues. These ancient records represent some of the earliest attempts to map the night sky, showcasing the Babylonians' extraordinary dedication to understanding the cosmos. Far from being mere stargazers, they were meticulous astronomers who sought to bring order to the heavens. The Babylonian star catalogues were more than just lists of stars. They were detailed records that documented the positions, movements, and brightness of celestial bodies. One of the most famous examples is the Mul, a pin, a collection of tablets that dates back to around 1000 BCE. This catalog not only identified stars and constellations, but also provided information about their rising and setting times, as well as their associations with specific months and seasons. For the Babylonians, this wasn't just about mapping the sky. It was about creating a system that could predict celestial events and guide daily life. What's truly impressive is the accuracy of these early star catalogues. Despite lacking the advanced tools we have today, the Babylonians managed to create remarkably precise records. They divided the sky into 3 distinct paths corresponding to the paths of the gods Anu, Enlil, and E. Each path contained specific constellations and stars which were used for both practical and astrological purposes. For example, the rising of certain stars signaled the start of agricultural seasons, while others were believed to influence human affairs. The influence of Babylonian star catalogues extended far beyond their own civilization. Greek astronomers such as Hipparchus and Ptolemy later built upon these early records, incorporating Babylonian data into their own works. This transfer of knowledge played a crucial role in the development of Western astronomy. Even today, many of the constellations we recognize, such as Leo and Scorpio, trace their origins back to Babylonian star maps. But the Babylonians didn't just map the stars for the sake of science, they saw the night sky as a reflection of divine will. Each star and constellation held symbolic meaning, often tied to myths and religious beliefs. For instance, the constellation we know as Orion was associated with the hero Gilgamesh, while the Pleiades were linked to the goddess Ishtar. This blending of astronomy and mythology highlights the Babylonians' holistic approach to understanding the cosmos. As we reflect on the Babylonian star catalogues, we're reminded of their enduring legacy. These ancient records not only laid the groundwork for modern astronomy, but also demonstrated the Babylonians' profound connection to the heavens. Their ability to observe, record, and interpret the stars with such precision is a testament to their ingenuity and curiosity. And with this foundation in place, we're ready to explore how the Babylonians used constellations not just for mapping, but for divination, a practice that reveals even more about their intricate relationship with the stars. Now, as we shift our focus from the meticulous mapping of the stars to their deeper, more mystical applications, we arrive at the fascinating role of constellations in Babylonian divination. For the Babylonians, the night sky wasn't just a map, it was a living, breathing oracle filled with messages from the gods. Constellations, in particular, held immense power, serving as celestial signposts that guided their predictions and shaped their understanding of the future. The Babylonians believed that each constellation carried its own unique energy and meaning, often tied to their rich mythology and religious beliefs. Take, for example, the constellation we know today as Leo. To the Babylonians, this group of stars represented the mighty lion, a symbol of strength and royalty. They associated it with their god Nergal, the deity of war and the underworld. When Leo appeared prominently in the night sky, it was often interpreted as a sign of impending conflict or a call to prepare for battle. Similarly, the constellation Scorpio, linked to the goddess Ishtar, was seen as a harbinger of transformation and renewal, signaling times of change or upheaval. But the Babylonians didn't stop at interpreting individual constellations. They also looked at the relationships between them, creating a complex web of celestial interactions. For instance, the rising of the Pleiades, a cluster of stars associated with fertility and abundance alongside the constellation Taurus, was seen as a favorable omen for agriculture. This alignment was believed to signal a bountiful harvest, prompting farmers to begin planting their crops. On the other hand, the appearance of certain constellations in conjunction with eclipses or planetary movements could foretell disasters such as floods or invasions. One of the most intriguing aspects of Babylonian divination was their use of constellations to predict the fate of kings and empires. The constellation Draco, often depicted as a serpent or dragon, was thought to symbolize chaos and upheaval. When Draco appeared in specific positions relative to other stars, it was interpreted as a warning of political instability or the fall of a ruler. These predictions weren't taken lightly. Babylonian kings often consulted their astrologer-priests to guide their decisions, relying on the stars to navigate the complexities of leadership. The symbolic meanings of constellations also extended to everyday life. For example, the constellation Gemini, representing twins, was associated with duality and partnership. Its appearance in the night sky was believed to influence matters of friendship, marriage, and alliances. Meanwhile, the constellation Virgo, linked to the goddess Shola, was seen as a protector of crops and a bringer of prosperity. Farmers would look to Virgo's position to determine the best times for planting and harvesting, ensuring their efforts were aligned with the heavens. What's truly remarkable is how the Babylonians wove these celestial symbols into a cohesive system of divination. They didn't just see constellations as random patterns in the sky, they viewed them as a language, a way for the gods to communicate with humanity. By interpreting the movements and positions of these star groups, Babylonian astrologers believed they could unlock the secrets of the future, guiding their people through both ordinary and extraordinary times. As we explore the role of constellations in Babylonian divination, we gain a deeper appreciation for their intricate relationship with the cosmos. These ancient stargazers saw the night sky as a mirror of divine will, a canvas on which the gods painted their messages. And with this understanding, we're ready to uncover how the Babylonians timed their most sacred rituals to align with the movements of the stars, a practice that reveals even more about their profound connection to the heavens. Now, as we step into the realm of sacred practices, we uncover how the Babylonians meticulously timed their religious rituals to align with the movements of the stars. For them, the heavens were not just a source of divination, but also a divine clock, guiding the timing of their most important ceremonies. The alignment of rituals with celestial events was seen as a way to honor the gods and ensure their favor, making this practice a cornerstone of Babylonian spiritual life. The Babylonians believed that the gods communicated their will through the stars and planets, and by observing these celestial bodies, they could determine the most auspicious times for their rituals. For example, the appearance of the new moon marked the beginning of each month and was considered a sacred time for offerings and prayers. Priests would conduct elaborate ceremonies to honor Sin, the moon god, seeking his blessings for prosperity and protection. Similarly, the full moon was seen as a time of heightened spiritual energy, often reserved for rituals aimed at purification and renewal. Planetary movements also played a crucial role in determining the timing of rituals. The Babylonians closely tracked the positions of planets like Jupiter, known as the king of the gods, and Venus, the star of Ishtar. When these planets appeared in specific constellations or formed significant alignments, it was believed to signal a time of divine favor. For instance, the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus was seen as an especially powerful omen, prompting priests to conduct grand ceremonies to invoke blessings for the king and the kingdom. One of the most fascinating examples of astrological timing was the Akitu festival, a 12-day celebration held during the spring equinox. This festival, dedicated to the god Marduk, was timed to coincide with the renewal of the natural world and the reawakening of life. The Babylonians believed that by aligning the festival with the equinox, they could harness the cosmic energy of rebirth and ensure the continued prosperity of their land. The rituals performed during Akitu included processions, offerings, and the recitation of sacred texts, all designed to reaffirm the bond between the gods and their people. The timing of rituals wasn't just about seeking divine favor, it was also about maintaining cosmic harmony. The Babylonians saw the universe as a delicate balance of forces, and by aligning their actions with the stars, they believed they could help preserve this balance. For example, during times of eclipses or other celestial disturbances, priests would perform rituals to appease the gods and prevent chaos from spilling into the earthly realm. These ceremonies often involved offerings, prayers, and the use of symbolic objects to restore order and protect the community. What's truly remarkable is how deeply intertwined Babylonian religion and astrology were. The priests didn't just rely on their knowledge of the stars. They saw themselves as active participants in the cosmic order, working to align human actions with divine will. By timing their rituals to celestial events, they believed they could influence the gods and shape the course of history. This profound connection between the heavens and the earth reveals the depth of their spiritual worldview and their unwavering commitment to living in harmony with the cosmos. As we reflect on the astrological timing of Babylonian rituals, we gain a deeper understanding of their reverence for the stars and their belief in the power of alignment. These ancient practices remind us that for the Babylonians, the night sky was not just a source of wonder, it was a guide, a clock, and a bridge to the divine. And with this insight, we're ready to explore how their view of fate, shaped by the stars, influenced every aspect of their lives. Now, as we delve deeper into the Babylonian worldview, we uncover their profound belief in a predetermined fate, one intricately tied to the movements of the stars. For the Babylonians, the cosmos was not just a backdrop to human existence, it was the very script of destiny, written in the language of celestial bodies. They believed that every individual, every kingdom, and every event was governed by a divine plan, revealed through the patterns of the heavens. This belief in fate shaped not only their astrological practices but also their daily lives as they sought to align themselves with the will of the gods. At the heart of this belief was the idea that the stars and planets were more than mere observers, they were active participants in shaping human destiny. The Babylonians saw the night sky as a map of fate, with each celestial body holding a specific influence over earthly affairs. For example, the position of Jupiter, known as the King of the Gods, was believed to determine the fortunes of kings and empires, while Venus, the star of Ishtar, influenced matters of love, war, and fertility. By studying these celestial movements, Babylonian astrologers could interpret the divine will and predict the course of events, from personal fortunes to the rise and fall of nations. This belief in a predetermined fate extended beyond the realm of kings and empires. It permeated every aspect of Babylonian life. Farmers consulted astrologers to determine the best times for planting and harvesting. Merchants sought guidance on auspicious days for trade, and individuals turned to the stars for insights into their personal futures. Even the timing of marriages, births, and other significant life events was carefully aligned with celestial omens, ensuring that these moments were in harmony with the cosmic order. The Babylonians' view of fate also shaped their approach to challenges and adversity. They believed that hardships were not random but were instead part of a larger divine plan. When faced with difficulties, they turned to astrology to understand the underlying causes and to seek guidance on how to navigate them. For instance, if a series of bad omens appeared in the sky, priests would perform rituals to appease the gods and restore balance. This belief in a predetermined fate provided a sense of order and meaning, even in the face of uncertainty. What's particularly fascinating is how this belief in fate influenced their sense of agency. While the Babylonians believed that destiny was written in the stars, they also saw themselves as active participants in shaping their futures. By aligning their actions with celestial guidance, they believed they could influence the gods and alter the course of events. This interplay between fate and free will reveals a nuanced understanding of the human condition, one that balanced acceptance of divine will with a proactive approach to life. As we reflect on the Babylonian view of fate, we gain a deeper appreciation for their intricate relationship with the cosmos. Their belief in a predetermined destiny shaped by the stars was not just a philosophical idea, it was a guiding principle that influenced every aspect of their lives. From the grand rituals of kings to the daily decisions of ordinary people, the Babylonians sought to live in harmony with the divine plan, finding meaning and purpose in the celestial dance above. And with this understanding, we're ready to explore how their astrological insights extended even further, shaping their approach to agriculture and the rhythms of the natural world. Now turning to the practical side of Babylonian astrology, we find its profound influence on agriculture, one of the cornerstones of their civilization. For the Babylonians, farming was not just a matter of soil and seasons. It was a cosmic endeavor deeply intertwined with the movements of the stars and planets. They believed that the heavens held the key to successful harvests, and by aligning their agricultural practices with celestial patterns, they could ensure bountiful crops and avoid disaster. At the heart of this practice was the lunar calendar, which the Babylonians meticulously followed to determine the optimal times for planting and harvesting. The phases of the moon were seen as critical indicators of agricultural success. For instance, they believed that planting during a waxing moon would encourage growth, while harvesting under a waning moon would preserve the quality of the crops. This lunar-based system allowed farmers to synchronize their work with the natural rhythms of the cosmos, creating a harmonious balance between earth and sky. But the moon was just the beginning. Babylonian astrologers also paid close attention to the positions of other celestial bodies, particularly Venus and Jupiter. Venus, as the star of Ishtar, was associated with fertility and abundance, making its movements a key factor in determining the best times for sowing seeds. Jupiter, on the other hand, was seen as a harbinger of prosperity and growth, and its favorable alignments were considered ideal for initiating major agricultural activities. By interpreting these planetary omens, astrologers provided farmers with detailed guidance on when to plant, irrigate, and harvest. This reliance on astrology extended beyond timing. Babylonian farmers also used celestial omens to predict weather patterns and natural phenomena that could impact their crops. For example, if a solar eclipse occurred during a critical planting period, it was interpreted as a warning of potential drought or pestilence. In response, farmers might adjust their strategies, such as planting drought-resistant crops or performing rituals to appease the gods and ensure favorable conditions. This proactive approach allowed them to mitigate risks and adapt to the uncertainties of farming in an ancient world. The practical applications of astrology in agriculture were not limited to individual farmers. The Babylonian state also played a significant role in organizing and regulating agricultural activities based on astrological insights. Priests and astrologers worked closely with government officials to create agricultural calendars and issue directives to farmers across the empire. This centralized system ensured that farming practices were aligned with celestial guidance, maximizing productivity and stability for the entire society. What's truly remarkable is how this ancient wisdom continues to resonate today. Modern farmers, while relying on advanced technology, still pay attention to lunar cycles and seasonal patterns, a testament to the enduring legacy of Babylonian astrology. By understanding how the Babylonians used the stars to guide their agricultural practices, we gain not only a glimpse into their innovative thinking, but also a deeper appreciation for the timeless connection between humanity and the cosmos. As we move forward, we'll explore how Babylonian astrology extended its influence even further, shaping the symbols and tools that astrologers used to interpret the heavens and predict the future. Now shifting our gaze to the stars, we uncover the intricate world of Babylonian astrological symbols, a language of the heavens that shaped their understanding of the cosmos. These symbols were more than just markings, they were a bridge between the divine and the earthly, a way to interpret the will of the gods and predict the future. Each symbol carried profound meaning, reflecting the Babylonians' deep connection to the celestial realm. At the heart of Babylonian astrology were the zodiac signs, which they divided into 12 distinct sections of the sky. These signs, represented by symbols such as the ram, the bull, and the twins, were tied to specific constellations and celestial patterns. The Babylonians believed that each sign held unique qualities and influences, shaping the destinies of individuals and nations alike. For example, the ram symbolized leadership and initiative, while the bull represented strength and stability. These symbols were not static, they evolved over time, adapting to the Babylonians' growing understanding of the stars and their movements. Beyond the zodiac, Babylonian astrologers used a variety of other symbols to represent planets, stars, and celestial events. The crescent moon, for instance, was a powerful symbol of change and renewal, often associated with the goddess Ishtar. The sun, depicted as a radiant disk, symbolized power and divine authority, while the star of Venus was a dual emblem of love and war. These symbols were meticulously recorded on clay tablets and used in astrological charts to map the heavens and interpret their messages. The influence of Babylonian astrological symbols extended far beyond their own civilization. As their knowledge spread to neighboring cultures, these symbols were adopted and adapted by the Greeks, Romans, and later European astrologers. The zodiac signs we recognize today, for example, trace their origins back to Babylonian astronomy. Even the planetary symbols used in modern astrology, such as the circle with a cross for Earth or the crescent with a circle for Mercury, have roots in Babylonian tradition. This enduring legacy highlights the Babylonians' remarkable ability to encode complex celestial knowledge into simple yet powerful symbols. What makes these symbols truly fascinating is how they reflect the Babylonians' worldview. They saw the universe as a living, interconnected system, where every star and planet played a role in the grand cosmic order. By decoding these symbols, astrologers could unlock the secrets of the heavens and guide their people through the uncertainties of life. This symbolic language not only shaped Babylonian culture, but also laid the foundation for the astrological traditions that continue to influence us today. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Babylonian astrology, we'll explore the tools and techniques they used to interpret these symbols and predict the future, revealing even more about their extraordinary connection to the cosmos. Now turning to the swift and elusive Mercury, we uncover its pivotal role in Babylonian astrology. Known as the messenger of the gods, Mercury's movements across the sky were seen as direct communications from the divine realm. The Babylonians believed that this planet held the key to understanding matters of communication, trade, and even the flow of ideas. Its rapid orbit, appearing to dart back and forth in the sky, made Mercury a symbol of agility and adaptability, qualities highly valued in their bustling trade networks and diplomatic exchanges. In Babylonian astrological records, Mercury's position was meticulously tracked and interpreted. When Mercury appeared in certain constellations or aligned with other planets, it was seen as a sign of favorable conditions for trade agreements or the successful delivery of important messages. For instance, if Mercury was observed near the constellation of the Twins, it was believed to signal a time of fruitful negotiations or the strengthening of alliances. Conversely, when Mercury was obscured or appeared to move erratically, it was interpreted as a warning of miscommunication, delays, or even conflicts in trade routes. The Babylonians also associated Mercury with their god Nabu, the deity of wisdom and writing. This connection reinforced the planet's link to intellectual pursuits and the dissemination of knowledge. Astrologers would often consult Mercury's position before making decisions related to education, record-keeping, or the drafting of legal documents. They believed that aligning their actions with Mercury's movements would ensure clarity and success in these endeavors. What makes Mercury's role in Babylonian astrology particularly fascinating is its dual nature. Just as the planet itself appears to move both forward and backward in the sky, its influence was seen as both constructive and unpredictable. This duality made Mercury a complex and dynamic force in their astrological system, embodying the ever-changing nature of communication and commerce. As we continue to explore the celestial wisdom of the Babylonians, we'll see how their interpretations of Mercury's movements not only shaped their daily lives, but also laid the groundwork for later astrological traditions. This ancient understanding of the planet's significance reminds us of the enduring connection between the heavens and human activity, a theme that resonates even in our modern world. Now shifting our gaze to the structure of the heavens, we delve into the Babylonian concept of astrological houses. The Babylonians, with their meticulous observation of the night sky, divided the celestial sphere into distinct sections known as houses. These houses were not just arbitrary divisions, but carefully mapped regions that held specific meanings and influences over human life. Each house was associated with particular aspects of existence, from personal relationships to wealth, health, and even spiritual growth. By studying the planets and stars within these houses, Babylonian astrologers could craft detailed predictions about an individual's fate or the outcome of significant events. The Babylonian system of astrological houses was deeply rooted in their understanding of the sky as a reflection of earthly and divine order. They divided the sky into 12 sections, each corresponding to one of the 12 zodiac signs. These houses were further linked to the daily rotation of the Earth, with the first house traditionally beginning at the eastern horizon where the sun rises. This alignment symbolized new beginnings and the start of life's journey, while the subsequent houses represented different stages and areas of life. For example, the second house was tied to material wealth and possessions, while the seventh house governed partnerships and marriage. What made the Babylonian approach to astrological houses unique was their integration of celestial events into practical decision-making. When a planet entered a specific house, it was believed to activate the themes associated with that house. For instance, if Mars, the planet of energy and conflict, moved into the 10th house, which governed career and public standing, it might signal a time of professional challenges or opportunities for advancement. Similarly, the appearance of Venus in the 5th house, associated with creativity and romance, could indicate a period of artistic inspiration or blossoming relationships. The Babylonians also used these houses to interpret the timing of events. By tracking the movement of planets through the houses, they could predict auspicious or inauspicious periods for various activities. For example, a favorable alignment in the 6th house linked to health and daily routines might suggest an ideal time to begin a new wellness regimen. Conversely, a challenging configuration in the 12th house tied to hidden enemies and subconscious fears could warn of potential setbacks or the need for caution. This intricate system of astrological houses not only provided a framework for understanding the cosmos, but also offered practical guidance for navigating life's complexities. The Babylonians' ability to map the sky into meaningful sections and interpret their significance laid the foundation for later astrological traditions, including those of the Greeks and Romans. As we continue to explore the secrets of Babylonian astrology, we'll see how their innovative approach to the heavens continues to influence our understanding of the stars and their impact on our lives. Now turning to the fascinating exchange of knowledge between ancient civilizations, we explore how Babylonian astrology made its way into Persia, leaving an indelible mark on Persian culture and science. As the Babylonian Empire flourished, its astrological practices began to spread beyond its borders, carried by scholars, traders, and conquerors. Persia, with its rich intellectual tradition, became a key recipient of this celestial wisdom, adapting and expanding it in ways that would shape its own astrological legacy. The Persians, known for their keen interest in astronomy and mathematics, eagerly absorbed Babylonian techniques. They recognized the value of the Babylonian zodiac, their meticulous star catalogues, and their advanced methods for predicting celestial events. However, the Persians didn't simply adopt these ideas, they refined them. Persian astrologers integrated Babylonian concepts with their own observations and innovations, creating a hybrid system that was both deeply rooted in Babylonian tradition and uniquely Persian. One of the most significant contributions of Persian astrologers was their development of horoscopic astrology. Building on the Babylonian foundation of astrological houses and planetary influences, Persian scholars began to create detailed birth charts or horoscopes for individuals. These charts mapped the positions of the planets at the time of a person's birth, offering insights into their personality, destiny, and future. This personalized approach to astrology was a major evolution of the Babylonian system, which had primarily focused on broader, more general predictions. Persian astrologers also expanded the use of planetary omens, a concept central to Babylonian astrology. They developed more sophisticated methods for interpreting the movements of planets like Jupiter and Saturn, linking them to specific events and outcomes. For example, they believed that the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, a rare celestial event, signaled the rise of a new ruler or the beginning of a significant era. These interpretations were not only used for personal predictions but also to guide political decisions, much like their Babylonian predecessors. Another area where Persian astrologers excelled was in their ability to predict eclipses and other celestial phenomena. Drawing on Babylonian techniques, they improved the accuracy of their calculations, allowing them to forecast events with greater precision. This expertise made Persian astrologers highly sought after, not only in Persia but also in neighboring regions, further spreading the influence of Babylonian astrology. The blending of Babylonian and Persian astrological traditions created a rich tapestry of knowledge that would later influence other cultures, including the Greeks and Arabs. The Persians' ability to adapt and innovate ensured that Babylonian astrology not only survived but thrived, evolving into new forms that would shape the course of history. As we continue to uncover the secrets of Babylonian astrology, we see how its journey into Persia marked a pivotal moment in the story of the stars, bridging ancient wisdom with new horizons. Now shifting our gaze to the skies above ancient Mesopotamia, we uncover how Babylonian astrologers turned their attention to the heavens not just for personal or political predictions, but also to foresee the wrath of nature itself. The Babylonians believed that the gods communicated their intentions through celestial events, and among these messages were warnings of natural disasters. By carefully observing the movements of planets, stars, and other celestial phenomena, they developed methods to predict events like floods, earthquakes, and droughts, which were critical for their agricultural and urban societies. One of the most striking examples of their predictive prowess lies in their ability to forecast floods. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers were the lifeblood of Babylonian civilization, but their unpredictable flooding could bring devastation. Babylonian astrologers noticed patterns in the behavior of certain stars and planets that seemed to coincide with these floods. For instance, they observed that when the planet Mars appeared unusually bright and close to the horizon, it often preceded a significant rise in water levels. These observations were meticulously recorded in their astrological texts, allowing them to issue warnings to farmers and city planners, giving them time to prepare or evacuate. Earthquakes, too, were believed to be foretold by the heavens. The Babylonians associated seismic activity with the movements of the planet Saturn, which they considered a harbinger of upheaval and change. When Saturn entered specific constellations or appeared in certain configurations with other planets, astrologers interpreted these alignments as signs of impending earthquakes. Historical records suggest that some of these predictions were remarkably accurate, with documented instances where Babylonian astrologers successfully warned communities of seismic events, saving lives and reducing damage. Droughts, another major threat to their agrarian society, were also predicted through celestial observations. The Babylonians linked prolonged dry spells to the behavior of the sun and moon. For example, they believed that a series of solar eclipses occurring in quick succession signaled a period of reduced rainfall. By interpreting these omens, they could advise farmers to store water or adjust their planting schedules, mitigating the impact of drought on their crops. The success of these predictions wasn't just a matter of luck, it was rooted in the Babylonians' meticulous record-keeping and their ability to identify patterns over centuries. Their astrological texts, such as the Enuma Anu Enlil, contain detailed accounts of celestial events and their corresponding earthly outcomes, forming a kind of early warning system for natural disasters. While their methods were steeped in the belief that the gods controlled the cosmos, their practical applications demonstrate a remarkable blend of spirituality and scientific observation. As we reflect on the Babylonians' ability to predict natural disasters, we see how their astrological practices were not just about understanding the future, but also about safeguarding their present. Their legacy reminds us that even in the ancient world, the stars were more than just objects of wonder. They were tools for survival. And as we continue to explore the secrets of Babylonian astrology, we find that their insights into the natural world still resonate today, offering a glimpse into the enduring connection between humanity and the cosmos. Now, as we delve deeper into the archives of ancient wisdom, we uncover the written treasures that preserve the secrets of Babylonian astrology. Among these, the Enuma Anu stands as one of the most significant astrological texts ever created. This remarkable compilation, whose name translates to the plow star, served as a cornerstone of Babylonian celestial knowledge, offering detailed observations and interpretations of the heavens. The Enuma Anu is a comprehensive guide divided into two main sections. The first part focuses on the fixed stars and constellations, mapping their positions and movements across the night sky. It lists over 60 stars and constellations, providing their rising and setting times, which were crucial for determining the seasons and agricultural cycles. The second part of the text delves into the movements of the moon and planets, offering rules for predicting their behavior and interpreting their significance. For example, it describes how the appearance of certain planets in specific constellations could signal events like wars, famines, or the rise of powerful leaders. What makes the Enuma Anu truly extraordinary is its practical application. Babylonian astrologers used this text as a manual for their craft, consulting it to make predictions about everything from weather patterns to political outcomes. The text also includes instructions for creating calendars, which were essential for organizing religious festivals, agricultural activities, and even legal matters. By aligning their lives with the rhythms of the cosmos, the Babylonians believed they could maintain harmony with the gods and ensure prosperity for their society. Another key feature of the Enuma Anu is its emphasis on observation and record-keeping. The text reflects centuries of meticulous celestial tracking, with generations of astrologers contributing to its accuracy. This dedication to detail allowed Babylonian astrologers to identify patterns and correlations between celestial events and earthly phenomena, laying the groundwork for future astronomical and astrological studies. The influence of the Enuma Anu extended far beyond Babylon. As their knowledge spread to neighboring cultures, this text became a foundational resource for Greek, Persian, and even Indian astrologers. Its methods and insights were adapted and expanded, shaping the development of astrology across the ancient world. As we explore the Mul, Apin, and other Babylonian astrological texts, we gain a deeper appreciation for their role in shaping human understanding of the cosmos. These writings were not just records of the stars, they were tools for navigating life, offering guidance and foresight in a world where the heavens held the keys to the future. And as we continue to uncover the secrets of Babylonian astrology, we find that their legacy lives on, reminding us of the timeless connection between the skies above and the lives we lead below. Now, as we step into the realm of Babylonian justice, we uncover a fascinating intersection between the stars and the law. Astrology wasn't just a tool for predicting the future. It played a significant role in shaping legal decisions in ancient Babylon. The Babylonians believed that the movements of celestial bodies were messages from the gods, and these divine signs were often consulted to guide matters of justice and fairness. In Babylonian courts, astrologer-priests were highly respected figures who provided insights based on their interpretations of the heavens. When a legal dispute arose, especially in cases involving serious crimes or disputes over property, astrological readings were sometimes used to determine guilt or innocence. For example, if a crime occurred during a particular planetary alignment or lunar phase, the astrologer-priests would analyze these celestial events to decide whether the accused was acting under divine influence or malice. One notable example comes from the reign of King Hammurabi, whose famous code of laws is often seen as a cornerstone of legal history. While Hammurabi's laws were detailed and structured, astrological interpretations still played a role in their application. If a case lacked clear evidence, astrologers might be called upon to consult the stars for guidance. A favorable celestial sign could sway the court's decision in favor of the accused, while an ominous omen might lead to a harsher judgment. Astrology also influenced the timing of legal proceedings. Babylonian courts often scheduled trials and verdicts based on auspicious celestial events. For instance, a trial might be delayed until a favorable planetary alignment occurred, ensuring that the judgment was in harmony with the will of the gods. This practice highlights how deeply intertwined astrology was with every aspect of Babylonian life, including the administration of justice. The use of astrology in law wasn't without its critics, even in ancient times. Some argued that relying on celestial omens could lead to inconsistent or unfair outcomes. However, for the Babylonians, astrology provided a sense of divine order and legitimacy to their legal system. It reinforced the idea that justice was not just a human endeavor but a cosmic one, guided by the gods themselves. As we reflect on the role of astrology in Babylonian law, we see how this ancient practice extended far beyond personal predictions or agricultural planning. It was a cornerstone of their societal structure, influencing decisions that shaped lives and communities. And while modern legal systems no longer rely on the stars, the Babylonian approach reminds us of the enduring human desire to seek guidance from forces greater than ourselves. With this glimpse into the celestial courtroom of Babylon, we now turn to the tools that made these astrological practices possible, the instruments and charts that Babylonian astrologers used to decode the messages of the heavens. Now, as we shift our gaze to the instruments of the heavens, we uncover the remarkable tools that Babylonian astrologers relied on to decode the messages of the stars. These tools were not just practical devices, they were gateways to understanding the divine will, crafted with precision and steeped in celestial significance. One of the most important tools in the Babylonian astrologers' arsenal was the astrolabe. This intricate device, often made of brass or wood, was used to map the positions of stars and planets at any given time. By aligning the rotating disks of the astrolabe with the night sky, astrologers could determine the exact location of celestial bodies and interpret their movements. This allowed them to predict events like eclipses, planetary conjunctions, and even the changing of seasons. The astrolabe was a marvel of ancient engineering, combining mathematical calculations with artistic craftsmanship to create a tool that bridged the earthly and the divine. Another essential tool was the star chart, a detailed map of the night sky that Babylonian astrologers used to track the movements of stars and planets. These charts were meticulously drawn on clay tablets, with each celestial body marked according to its position and significance. The Babylonians were among the first to create systematic star catalogues, recording the paths of stars and planets over long periods. This data was crucial for making accurate predictions, as it allowed astrologers to identify patterns and cycles in the heavens. For example, by studying the recurring movements of Venus, they could predict its appearances and use them to forecast events like droughts or political upheavals. In addition to these tools, Babylonian astrologers also used water clocks to measure time with remarkable precision. These clocks, known as clepsydras, were essential for determining the exact moments of celestial events, such as the rising and setting of stars. By combining the data from their astrolabes, star charts, and water clocks, astrologers could create detailed horoscopes and omens that guided everything from royal decisions to agricultural planning. The construction of these tools required not only technical skill, but also a deep understanding of astronomy and mathematics. Babylonian astrologers were scholars in every sense, blending scientific knowledge with spiritual insight to create instruments that could unlock the secrets of the cosmos. Their tools were more than just devices. They were extensions of their belief in a universe governed by divine order. As we explore these ancient instruments, we gain a deeper appreciation for the ingenuity and dedication of Babylonian astrologers. Their tools were not just means to an end, but symbols of their quest to understand the mysteries of the heavens. And while modern technology has replaced these ancient devices, the legacy of Babylonian astrological tools continues to inspire us, reminding us of humanity's enduring fascination with the stars. With this understanding of the tools that shaped Babylonian astrology, we now turn to the fiery planet that held a special place in their celestial observations, Mars, the harbinger of conflict and change. Now, as we turn our attention to the red glow in the night sky, we delve into the astrological significance of Mars in Babylonian culture. Known as Nergal, the god of war and destruction, Mars held a powerful and often ominous place in Babylonian astrology. Its fiery red appearance was seen as a direct reflection of its association with conflict, chaos, and upheaval. Babylonian astrologers closely monitored the movements of Mars, believing its position in the sky could reveal divine warnings about impending battles, political strife, or even natural disasters. When Mars appeared bright and prominent in the night sky, it was often interpreted as a sign of impending war or social unrest. Babylonian kings and military leaders would consult astrologers to determine the best times to engage in battle or negotiate treaties based on the planet's movements. For example, if Mars was observed near certain constellations associated with aggression, such as Leo or Scorpio, it was seen as a clear omen that conflict was on the horizon. Conversely, when Mars was less visible or appeared to retreat, it was taken as a sign of temporary peace or a lull in hostilities. The Babylonians also believed that Mars's retrograde motion, when it appears to move backward in the sky, was a particularly potent omen. This rare event was thought to signal a reversal of fortunes, often bringing unexpected challenges or shifts in power. Astrologers would carefully document these retrograde periods, using them to advise rulers on how to navigate turbulent times. For instance, a retrograde Mars might suggest delaying a military campaign or preparing for internal disputes within the kingdom. Beyond warfare, Mars's influence extended to other areas of life. Its movements were also linked to natural phenomena like droughts, fires, and earthquakes, which were seen as manifestations of its destructive energy. Farmers and city planners would heed the warnings of astrologers, adjusting their activities to mitigate the potential impact of these events. In this way, Mars was not just a harbinger of conflict, but a symbol of the unpredictable forces that shaped the Babylonian world. The legacy of Mars in Babylonian astrology reminds us of the profound connection ancient cultures saw between the heavens and earthly events. For the Babylonians, the red planet was more than a celestial body. It was a messenger of the gods, a reminder of the delicate balance between order and chaos. As we reflect on their interpretations, we gain a deeper understanding of how they sought to navigate the uncertainties of their world through the wisdom of the stars. With this exploration of Mars complete, we now prepare to uncover the final secrets of Babylonian astrology, where we'll examine the enduring legacy of their celestial knowledge and the mysteries that still remain hidden in the sands of time. Now, as we step into the final chapters of our journey through Babylonian astrology, we uncover the enduring legacy that this ancient civilization left behind. The Babylonians were not just stargazers, they were pioneers who laid the groundwork for the astrological traditions we recognize today. Their meticulous observations, innovative methods, and profound interpretations of celestial events have echoed through the centuries, shaping the way we understand the stars and their influence on our lives. One of the most significant contributions of Babylonian astrology is the zodiac system. By dividing the sky into 12 equal parts and associating each with specific constellations, they created a framework that remains central to modern astrology. This system, which they used to track the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, was later adopted and refined by the Greeks, Romans, and other cultures. Even today, the 12 zodiac signs are a cornerstone of astrological practice, guiding everything from daily horoscopes to personal birth charts. The Babylonians also introduced the concept of planetary influences, believing that the positions and movements of celestial bodies could reveal divine messages about earthly events. This idea, which they meticulously documented in texts like the Enuma Anu Enlil, became the foundation for predictive astrology. Modern astrologers still use planetary alignments to interpret trends, forecast events, and offer guidance, a practice that can be traced directly back to Babylonian methods. Another lasting legacy is their use of astrological omens. The Babylonians saw celestial events such as eclipses and comets as signs from the gods, warning of impending changes or disasters. This belief in the interconnectedness of the heavens and the earth has persisted, influencing not only astrology but also fields like astronomy and meteorology. Even today, many cultures view celestial phenomena as symbolic or prophetic, a testament to the Babylonians' enduring influence. The Babylonian calendar, with its lunar-based system and alignment with celestial cycles, also left a mark on later civilizations. Their methods of tracking time and organizing rituals around astronomical events were adopted and adapted by cultures across the ancient world. This legacy can still be seen in the way we structure our calendars and mark significant dates, from religious holidays to agricultural seasons. Perhaps most importantly, the Babylonians' approach to astrology as a blend of science, spirituality, and practicality continues to inspire modern practitioners. Their belief that the stars could offer guidance and insight into the human experience resonates with many today, bridging the gap between ancient wisdom and contemporary life. Whether through the study of planetary transits, the interpretation of birth charts, or the search for meaning in the night sky, the echoes of Babylonian astrology are unmistakable. As we reflect on their contributions, it becomes clear that the Babylonians were not just observers of the cosmos, they were interpreters, storytellers, and visionaries. Their legacy reminds us that the stars have always been a source of wonder, offering both answers and mysteries. And as we continue to explore the heavens, we carry forward the knowledge and curiosity they first ignited thousands of years ago. With this understanding of their enduring influence, we now turn to the final secret, where we'll explore the mysteries of lost Babylonian astrological knowledge and the questions that still remain unanswered. As we step into the final chapter of our exploration, we encounter the enigmatic mystery of lost Babylonian astrological knowledge. Despite the incredible insights we've uncovered, much of what the Babylonians knew remains shrouded in the mists of time. Their vast repository of celestial wisdom, recorded on clay tablets and preserved through centuries, still holds secrets that modern scholars are only beginning to unravel. One of the greatest challenges lies in deciphering the ancient texts themselves. Many of the surviving Babylonian astrological records are fragmented, their cuneiform script worn by time or damaged by the elements. Translating these texts requires not only linguistic expertise, but also a deep understanding of the cultural and historical context in which they were written. Even then, some passages remain cryptic, their meanings lost to the ages. For example, certain omens or celestial patterns described in texts like the Enuma Anu Enlil are open to interpretation, leaving scholars to piece together their significance through educated guesses and comparative studies. Another layer of mystery stems from the Babylonians' unique way of thinking. Their worldview, deeply intertwined with mythology and spirituality, often blended scientific observation with symbolic interpretation. This makes it difficult to separate their practical astronomical knowledge from their religious beliefs. For instance, while they accurately predicted lunar eclipses, they also saw these events as divine warnings, a perspective that modern science no longer shares. Understanding their methods requires us to bridge the gap between ancient and modern ways of thinking, a task that is as fascinating as it is challenging. Yet, the gaps in our knowledge also hold immense potential for discovery. Every unearthed tablet or newly translated text offers a chance to deepen our understanding of Babylonian astrology. Recent advancements in technology, such as high-resolution imaging and artificial intelligence, are helping researchers decode previously illegible inscriptions, revealing insights that were once thought lost forever. These discoveries not only shed light on the Babylonians' celestial expertise, but also provide a richer picture of their culture, beliefs, and daily lives. Moreover, the study of Babylonian astrology continues to inspire new questions and avenues of research. How did their methods influence other ancient civilizations? What untapped wisdom might still lie hidden in their records? And how can their ancient practices inform our modern understanding of the cosmos? These questions remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is an ongoing journey, one that connects us to the curiosity and ingenuity of the Babylonians themselves. As we conclude our journey through the 30 secrets of Babylonian astrology, we are left with a profound appreciation for this ancient civilization's contributions. Their legacy is not just a collection of predictions or techniques, but a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the stars. While much of their knowledge remains a mystery, it is a mystery that invites us to keep exploring, learning, and marveling at the wonders of the cosmos. And who knows, perhaps the next great discovery in Babylonian astrology is just around the corner, waiting to be uncovered by a curious mind like yours. If you've enjoyed unraveling these ancient secrets with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more journeys into the mysteries of history. Until next time, keep looking to the stars. They might just have more stories to tell. As we bring our journey through the 30 secrets of Babylonian astrology to a close, it's clear that this ancient civilization's celestial wisdom was far ahead of its time. From the creation of the zodiac to their advanced predictions of eclipses and planetary movements, the Babylonians laid the foundation for much of what we know about astrology today. Their ability to interpret the stars as messages from the gods not only shaped their own society, but also influenced countless cultures that followed, from the Greeks to the Persians and beyond. The enduring legacy of Babylonian astrology is a testament to humanity's timeless fascination with the cosmos. Their methods, though rooted in a world vastly different from ours, remind us of the universal desire to understand the forces that shape our lives. Whether it was predicting the fate of kings, guiding agricultural practices, or interpreting celestial omens, the Babylonians saw the stars as a map to the future, a map that continues to intrigue and inspire us today. As we reflect on these ancient secrets, it's impossible not to marvel at how much of their knowledge still resonates. Modern astrology, astronomy, and even our calendar systems owe a debt to the Babylonians' pioneering work. Their insights remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is a journey without end, one that connects us across time and space to those who first looked to the heavens in wonder. If you've enjoyed uncovering these ancient mysteries with us, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What secrets of Babylonian astrology fascinated you the most? How do you think their legacy continues to shape our world today? Share your ideas in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more explorations into the mysteries of history. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars. They've guided humanity for millennia, and their stories are far from over.